Hey Dee, how are you? Just give me a second here on YouTube here. Follow along with any comments that might come up. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Oops, sorry. Alrighty. All right, we are live back at you again after about a 2 week period of not being online. I'm excited to be back online again and recording a YouTube live. I'm excited to be working on St. Patrick's Day cards. So, I have a couple elements here that I'm going to pull together. First of all, how are you doing, Dee? It's so nice to see that you're online tonight. Have you been able to record any lives? Or any videos? Were you able to get the situation straightened out with your phone and whatnot? All the things that you were working on? Okay, I don't know if you can hear me or not. Oops, getting myself out of focus already. Okay, well, when you're ready to tell me how it's going, just go ahead and chat in a little bit and let me know how things are going with your YouTube adventures. Hi, okay, I just saw. Oh, it won't film in landscape on YouTube. Okay, I didn't realize that it was that it was going to cause you that. I didn't realize that Android phones were like that. Sorry. You might have to get maybe an iPhone, or you might have to get a tablet that does allow the filming to happen in landscape. I don't really know much about it because I've only ever had an iPhone, so I don't know. I'm not much of a help there. Um, hey, Wilda, how are you? Okay, if you get a brace for your iPad, then you'll be able to record live. That's good. Well, I wanted to show you, I have some pre-made items here. I've been working on getting my St. Patrick's Day cards ready, and you might be wondering, why is she worried about St. Patrick's Day already? Well, I'm part of a card club, and tomorrow is actually my first day at the card club. And um, like I've never been there before, so it's all new to me. But what I understand is you bring cards for everybody that's going to be there according to the holiday that is happening. So the next holiday would be St. Patrick's Day. So I'm working on getting these together. Um, I hope you can hear me all right. I'll try to talk as loud as I can. Let me turn my volume up here. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. The stamps for this design came from this set that I purchased from Brutus Monroe. It's the WeCraft product. Yeah, Wilda, I hope you had a good Valentine's Day too. I had to work late. We had a big proposal that we were working on for my job, but we were able to be interviewed today, and we're hoping that the outcome is good. But this is one of the stamps. It says Happy St. Patrick's Day. And then I have a bunch of clovers that I cut out. 4-leaf clovers. I actually colored them in with alcohol markers. Oh, okay. Well, it could be my connection. I don't have the best internet connection here. I'm waiting for Nancy to send me a list of all the specs that she uses to update her system. But aren't those four-leaf clovers so adorable? Just love them. And so I was able to get that cut out in advance. And so I'm just going to start assembling these medallions. Some of them I've already glued together. Oh, nice too. Thank you. I've been practicing my shading with my alcohol markers. I was even able to do a couple that were more of a yellow color because you know how it is with four-leaf clovers. They're not always, well, usually they are bright green, but I tried to do a couple that were, a lighter green. Okay. So, anyways, I have to get these medallions ready. And I have basically, I used the Brutus Monroe glitter stock. And then I put some craft foam on the back just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I used different colors of green cardstock. So I have to get those glued together. I did most of them already, but there's a couple that I didn't get done yet. I cut these out with my Sizzix Big Kick, and at the end I was actually cutting them at the same time. I was getting tired, so I was cutting the glitter paper right with the foam right behind it, and it actually kind of stuck together, so I thought that was kind of cool. So let's just go ahead and get these glued down. I'm just using Art Glitter Glue. I don't know if you're familiar with that product, but it has a pretty good quality that it sticks very well. And I found that with the glitter stock, you need to have some pretty strong glue because otherwise it just peels right off. My adhesive tape, my tape adhesive, there's 12 people in the class. So let me count to see how many. I might not have to do all these. Let's see here. There's 12 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this makes 12. Okay, so that's that part. That's done. Yeah, I've been working on it a little bit here and there, trying to keep ahead so that it wouldn't be so much of the last minute pulling it together. So what I've been trying to do is put something a little bit heavy on top of the cutout. That way it weighs it down a little bit, and it will hopefully help it stick together better. So, so we've got that part done. Now I did create some background paper already, and I had it here earlier, so I'm going to see if I can, it's one of those things where you try so hard to keep your area clean, and then you end up putting things away. Oh, by the way, this shamrock, it came from the Brutus Monroe Lucky You set. It did not come from this Mardi Gras March set. This stamp is from some other set. So you all are probably familiar with that. Okay. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Just trying to get some St. Patrick's Day cards ready for my card club tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day that I go to my card club. So just hold on one second. I'm going to try to find where I put the... I had created some background cards. Can you hear me okay, you guys? Can you hear me okay? I'm kind of further away right now, but I was wondering if earlier you could hear me okay. All right, Dee, I hope you don't leave us. I hope you stick with us. And don't abandon us again, Dee. No, I'm just kidding. I know you had trouble and you had to step out for a second. I'm trying to find my backs of my cards that I made. I really have been working on this project in advance. I try not to wait around to the last minute. I try to get a little bit done here and there, just to be able to keep ahead of things. But then again, sometimes I lose track of where put all my different parts here. Okay, good. I'm glad you can hear me okay. What I did was I had some papers that I embossed, and I blended them with the blending brushes to make a nice green background. Now I'm trying to find those papers. Well, I put them away so well that I don't know where I put them. Isn't that terrible? Oh, they might be in my... I know where I put them. So, okay. So here's what I do, in case you're wondering the method to my madness. Oh, hey, Fatima. Oh, you could not get to my blog. Okay. Well, I'll put the name of my blog up here. That way you can take another look at it here. Yeah, those shamrocks are from the Lucky You set with Brutus Monroe. Okay. And then I have this St. Patrick's Day that I cut out of a... Well, this is the stamp from that March We Craft set that Christopher had made available. And then the background is foam and Brutus Monroe glitter stock. And this is on YouTube. Connect. All right. All right. So hopefully I didn't lose anybody. Sorry about that. That's the YouTube, right? It just loves to buffer. Basically what I wanted to show you was I have these job tickets. And what I do is I use these to hold together my craft project so I don't lose things. So what I have in here, and this is where I keep, so this one is all my St. Patrick's Day, all my St. Patrick's Day card backs. You know, I have already worked on these in advance so that as I assembled these tonight, I can get them done. They're for my stamp club that I'm joining. Tomorrow's my first day at the stamp club. And so I wanted to provide St. Patrick's Day cards for everybody. But I found that those job tickets, I got them through Amazon. They seem to do a good job of keeping everything organized. So thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. I really appreciate it. All right. So these are just papers, cardstock that I embossed with different embossing folders. I think they were mostly Doris, but then I used some Distress inks and blended sort of like a gradient. And I thought these turned out really nice. I was really pleased with how these turned out. So we won't have to make all 12 cards tonight, but while I'm live, but we'll make a couple. So I'm just trying to figure out how I would like to arrange things with the cards. Let's see here. Oh, I hope so. I hope they like them. You know, it's always hard when you're going to a group for the first time. You don't know sort of what their, you know, what their style is, or, you know, if they, you know, are all one style of card maker. So I'm hoping that they like these. But you know what? This is really three-dimensional. I had no idea when I put this together how raised it was going to be off of the base of the card. Wow, that is really three-dimensional. So that's nice. That makes it nice. Nice, and it just pops, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So what I thought was, since I made all these shamrocks in advance, I could put them on the card. Each one maybe put 2 or 3. I can always cut out more, but I'm just trying to figure out where I want to place the medallion and where I want to place the shamrocks. Let's see here. This card is a little bit, this one's a little bit larger. And I'm going to regret this, but I didn't trim this down before I created it. And I know what's going to happen when I go to glue it onto a base. It's going to probably take up the entire space of the base. It might even be too big. Let me see if I can find a card base here. Let's see. This is just a white card base. Let me see here. Let's see. Actually, it fits pretty nice. It pretty much covers the entire base of the card. I'm not going to trim it because I'm afraid if I do, it'll get snagged in my paper trimmer because it's pretty thin. So we'll just let that go. Now, when we go to make the one with the ink blending, I think I'll have a little bit more of a white border around it. Lately, my cards that I've been making, I've been trying to allow for a white border. I think that makes it look nice. And if not, even if I would use a colored cardstock to have a border. So here's some green colored paper, which I might end up using green, you know, for St. Patrick's Day. I think that having the border, I think it really just makes it pop. So that's going to look nice, I think, with the green in the background. I think that'll look really nice. But for our purposes of this card with the embossed paper, I'll probably just put it on the white cardstock because it is covering the entire surface area of that white cardstock. And then I might just have to trim it a little bit. Okay, so anyways, let's get rolling here. Thought I would put the medallion at the top and then put the clovers at the bottom. Shamrocks. I think those look pretty cute. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that is fine? Do you like that position? All right, well, we'll make at least one that position. And then we can always switch it around on the next. I'm going to have to do something, though, to weigh this down. Too bad I don't have a book back here that I could weigh this down with a book. Because this is so thick. It really is thick. Oh, that's a good idea. I could use 3 and sort of layer them on top of each other. That would look cute. I like that idea. That way it does look like it's going to. Oh, that's cute. Yeah. That looks cute. 3 of them together. I'll put it under my craft mat. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'll do. That way it'll flatten it. Okay, so let's get this one done. And get some glue on this. This is just art glitter glue. I use a lot of glue. Heavy-handed on the glue. Oops, don't want to be upside down. That would not look so good if it was upside down. Oh my. Where's my block? Here we go. Give it a little pressure. Okay, Wilda, do you think that it makes sense to do the 3? Is that better as far as instead of 2? Yeah, the odd numbers instead of the even numbers. I'm just trying to hold this down a little bit. Excuse me. Still getting over a slight sinus issue. Hoping that it goes away on its own, but it's that time of the year, I guess. A lot of people are having sinus issues. It's no fun, especially at the end of the evening whenever you're having trouble breathing. So does anybody have any big plans for the weekend? Anybody doing anything fun? maybe any late Valentine's Day plans? Okay, we'll put 3 together here. All right, I need to get a baby wipe. Oh, that sounds like fun. Good for you. I'm not very good at crocheting. Something I used to do when I was younger, something that my mom tried to teach all of us girls, but she never really stuck with it, and I think that's why we probably never really stuck with it. But I think there's nothing nicer than getting something that somebody crocheted by their own hand. I think that's so nice. Are you making scarves, hats, afghans? What are you making? Oops. Okay. Oh, I better put it on live chat, not just top chat. Okay. Okay, we've got our 3 shamrocks. I think that turned out cute. I like the 3 together. Here we go. Oh, cat beds. What a great idea. Okay, see if you can see those. Whoops, I'm off camera. Trying to get on camera here. I really like my scan and cut. The way it cut the shamrocks out. Thank you, Lisa. And it left a little bit of an outline. I learned how to do that. I think before I watched a couple YouTube videos, I learned how to leave a little bit of white space. I thought that was a good thing to learn. So we'll get to the next one here. Well, my son is away at scout camp. They're at winter camp. So they just left and gave me an opportunity to jump online here and get back to doing some lives. Especially, I knew that some of the other folks that normally do live weren't going to be here tonight. And I try not to do them when the others are doing theirs, obviously. So, I mean, the camp sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm sure it will be. Except for tomorrow night when they have to sleep in shelters. And I think that's going to be a little bit cold because it's going to get down to 32 degrees tomorrow night, overnight. And I guess they're sleeping in. Now, my husband says that they're like shelters, that they have a chimney in them. They have 4 wooden walls and then 1 open wall. And then the boys and their scoutmasters are able to start a fire and keep warm, but still they're going to be outside, okay? And it's going to be 32 degrees. So my husband's like, you worry too much. He said, they're going to be fine. They've got their sleeping bags. They'll keep warm. Of course, you know, my son's not really phased at all. He just really doesn't want to think about it. He just wants to go and have fun, and I want him to have fun too. But I don't know if I could handle being out at winter camp in a lean-to, for lack of a, it's like a lean-to, and being it's not even a cabin, it's a lean-to. Now tonight they are staying in cabins, so at least that's one good thing. Tonight they are staying in cabins, but tomorrow night's going to be the cold night. Brr, tell me about it. Yeah, so I mean, like, am I crazy thinking that's going to be, you know, completely like freezing? 32 degrees is freezing. And he too has like this sinus thing going on like I do. So I told him, I said, I hate to say this, but, you know, I hope you don't get any sicker than you already are, because you know how it is when you're out in that cold. Yeah. And then my husband said, well, they're sleeping in sleeping bags. And then he said, the sleeping bag is rated for 32 degrees below zero. And I said, yeah, I understand that, but it's when you get out of the sleeping bag and you have to get up and get moving. That's the part that's going to be the worst, I think. Um, so he's cute though, my son. He's like, Mom, you know, I'm an assistant patrol leader and it's my responsibility to do it, and if some of the younger boys have a hard time being out in the cold, he said, you know, they might need someone to take them back, and it will be a wonderful experience, that's for sure. But he said, I'll volunteer to go back into the cabin if they get too cold. He said he'll go back with one of the other scout leaders. Yeah, definitely. It would definitely. You're right about that. And I never thought about that, Fatima. You know, he'll probably tell me all kinds of stories when he gets back tomorrow about how cold it was and the fact that he's probably never slept out in anything that cold before. And then we can have a conversation about homeless, and how rough it is for people who are homeless, and how they struggle to keep warm every night, just not one night a year. So that's definitely a good learning experience. That's a good thing. That's a good thing that you mentioned that, because that's something I definitely want to impress upon him, you know. I just hope he doesn't get too sick as a result with his sinuses. Now, this one is not as curled. Like some of these medallions are really, I don't know, they're really popping up. This one is laying a lot flatter. So this is just the Brutus Monroe glitter stock, which is the best glitter stock. Somebody said that earlier. I agree with you. It's the best glitter stock. And the die shape was a Sizzix. I don't know, some Sizzix die that I had. It's one of those that comes in like a set where they nest together. So that's where that came from. And then the stamp was from that stamp set that I bought from Brutus Monroe. Yeah. Um, we've been having some really cold temperatures this week. Some really terrible snow this week. And after it gets done snowing, then it turns to this really windy situation where the wind chills, where the wind speeds are like 50 miles an hour. I'm thinking, what in the world? I mean, dangerous. It's dangerous. And it's dangerous for a homeless person to be out. And hopefully there's some shelters that they can go to, but I know not every community has, homeless shelters. It makes you very thankful and appreciative to be blessed with a warm home and to have, heat and electricity and blankets and hot water, definitely. So yeah, that's what's going on at our house this weekend. I'm real excited to go to the card club tomorrow. After I get done making these St. Patrick's Day cards, I have to make 5 birthday cards, because the lady that invited me, she said that if it's a person's birthday, they get a card that month. And so I looked at the list, and there were 3 women who had birthdays in January, which I didn't make it to the January meeting. So I need to give each one of them a belated birthday card. And there's 2 who have birthdays in February. So that's 5 birthday cards. And then I'll show you what I created for the birthday cards, which they're not done yet, but I have at least a nice head start on them. I find that, making cards with this quantity, like having to make 12, just to sit down and try to do all this all at one time, I think it would very much frustrate me. I think I would give up too soon, but trying to get some of these pieces together ahead of time definitely helps me, plow through it when it comes time to finally assemble them. That's right. So, what I did last night while I was watching Christopher's live, uh-oh, I'm stuck to my block. Oh, yeah, I think I overdid it with the glue on this one. Ah! Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to yelp in your ear. I try not to make loud, sudden noises. That is one of my pet peeves. I've watched different people do YouTube lives, and like all of a sudden they'll let out a scream or a holler. I'm like, what is wrong with you folks? I'm listening to you with my earphones in. You just practically, made me go deaf. I try to speak in an even tone the whole way through and loud enough that folks can hear me. Anyways, what I was saying was, hi Ivy. So glad you could join us. I'm so glad that everybody could join us tonight. It's so nice to. I do look forward to talking to you guys, whether it be on a live or watching one of Christopher's lives or Jess or any. I just enjoy connecting with you all. You've been such a great community of friends and supporters, and it's nice to know people who kind of like get you and kind of like can understand your enthusiasm for card making because not everybody gets it. Like, not everybody can share the same kind of excitement that we share when it comes to things like embossing powders and glitter glaze and aqua pigments. That's right. It's been wonderful to meet all of you and getting to know all of you. And of course, Christopher keeps selling us more and more wonderful products, right? Last night he almost had me. He almost had me buying a full set of everything, but I was like, "No, you do not need one more aqua pigment set. You don't. There comes a point where you have enough. And I had to really force myself to back away from the keyboard. Okay. So that one turned out really cute. I like that one. I like the background paper on this one. Sort of like a mint green. Yeah, my husband's getting really frustrated, and I have to definitely cut back on my, purchases because he's like, I can't believe you got another thing in the mail from Brutus Monroe. I was like, well, it's good stuff. And if it wasn't Brutus Monroe, and if I hadn't found Brutus Monroe, I probably would have been picking things up at Joanne Fabric or Michael's. And, the Brutus Monroe stuff is so much better. Now that I've found the Brutus Monroe, I've been really not buying anything hardly at all at Joann's or Michael's. Maybe just some, cheap cardstock here and there. Well, I bought my cardstock, my most recent cardstock, I bought at Staples. Oh, is that what yours says, Lisa? Oh, that's funny. You got another box again? Yeah. Yep. But yeah, this cardstock that I bought at Staples, it's actually pretty nice, and I was surprised. I'll get it for you in a second here and show it to you. It's a nice heavy weight, and I think that's important. That's right. They just don't get it. They just don't get it, Ivy. They don't quite get it. And how we get so excited about paper crafting, making cards, mixed media, whatever it is that you're passionate about. Yep. Okay. I think I'm going to turn these a little bit on an angle or something so they don't all look exactly the same. I'm sure it's getting kind of boring. Okay, let's see here. Oh, there we go. That's like a little bit of a different angle. Yeah, I like that. Whoops. What's going on here? Hold on a second. I know. I have things in my cart as well, but I didn't buy it. I just love embossing powders. I don't know what it is about embossing powders, but you know, like I go crazy when I see them. I don't know if it's because I know what magic they are whenever you use them when you're making cards, and how exciting it is to see the the glitter, come to life, or the shine come to life. I don't know what it is about embossing powders, but yeah. So I said the same thing about no stamps. And then Christopher brought out those WeCraft stamps with the different seeds, and I totally caved. Totally caved. And I was mad at myself, but if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have this. That's where this sentiment came from. This happy St. Patrick's Day. Whoa, I'm off camera. So that's where that came from. And I didn't have any St. Patrick's Day stamp sets, so I know, Lisa. I had purchased the Easter ones, and then the um February ones because it had a groundhog, and my son's birthday is on Groundhog Day. So of course that was like, oh, I am making a total mess here. I put so much glue. This is something that I have to learn, to not use so much glue. It'll probably stick to the craft mat. All right, so I won't bore you with any more St. Patrick's Day cards. You get the idea on those. So, birthday cards. Okay, let me just clean up my area a little bit here. Otherwise, I'm going to have a mess. Let me see here. This is the hardest thing in the world, to put the pin back inside this glue. I don't know if anybody else struggles with that, but it could be just that my eyes are getting worse the older that I get. Okay. Yeah, we can rationalize it. I know. You're right about that. That is true. So that set that he had, though, those stamps were so cute. And then he said, once these are gone, they're gone. Aw, Ivy, that's sweet. I mean, I'm sorry that you're going through so much lately, but I'm glad that he's supportive of you, and that he, isn't being too harsh. My husband's like getting to the point where he's getting really critical about it, so I think I have a problem. Okay. So there's a Brutus Monroe set, and it's called Botanical Bamps. I don't know if it's still available or not. Some of you might have this already. Let me get a piece of white cardstock behind it so we can actually see what we're looking at here. It's got this real pretty rose and some sentiments as well. So this was the set that I decided to use to create the birthday cards. All right. Okay, so what I did was I took the set, I stamped it with Brutus Monroe embossing ink, and then I used the Raven embossing ink. Oh, that's so funny, Fatima. Oh my gosh. You were all blinged out. Thank you. Thanks, Lisa. So I really like the way this turned out. I thought that it was bold. I thought that it was I thought it was really, very pronounced. But when I first embossed it, and it was just the black on this is white Canson watercolor, and then I used aqua pigments to color it in. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I thought it was very strange too, but it didn't look like this at first. At first, you know, before I colored it in with aqua pigments, I thought it was too much black. I thought it was just too dark, you know? So I doubted myself and I switched to white instead. I switched to white embossing powder. I went to the alabaster instead. Okay, and then when I went to color it in, it wasn't as striking. This is definitely not as bold and like pronounced as this, you know? Like what a difference between the two. You know? So anyways, I was being efficient last night and did all of my embossing first before I did my aqua pigment coloring in. So it was already too late. I had already embossed a whole bunch of these with the white alabaster, so I just kept moving forward. You know, I didn't want to waste what I had already created, and so I figured, you know what, that's not bad either. I mean, it's not as much of a striking statement as the black embossing ink, but I still think it looks nice. I still think it could be a very nice card. So we did one, I did one with like the pink and the purple, and then I switched over to distressed ink because I had seen different videos where, yeah, thanks Lisa. I just feel like I should have made, I don't know, I should have tested one fully before I switched over to the white embossing. But this is definitely like more feminine, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's more like antique looking. And this has the distress ink instead of the aqua pigment coloring it. So I did one in like pink. And then this one is purple, which I thought that turned out really pretty. I like the color of that. I just like purple. That's my favorite color. And then I did one with peach. Let's see here. This one I thought turned out. I like peach and green together. I think that's pretty together. So that one turned out nice. And then I embossed one with the gold glitter, gilded sparkle. Sorry, I'm getting my embossing powder names wrong. This is the gilded sparkle embossing powder. So it's got that gold with sparkle on it, and I know you can't really see it that well as far as the sparkle, but it does remind me of Victorian. That's what I was thinking too. It does. It definitely has like a soft feel to it. And I thought it's okay. You know, it's okay that they're not all, you know, this big bold, you know, this is really bold and it's beautiful. And I'll probably make more cards with this. But I wasn't about to go back and re-emboss everything because I certainly don't want to, you know, waste what I had already created. Now these, I just cut around them to keep that soft look. Like I kind of want to round it like with curves around it. I didn't get so tight up against it like I did with this one. I kind of got as close as I could. I just fussy cut it. You know, I just fussy cut it. But let me show you something. Now what makes this, I think, really nice. So I have, oh wait, here's another one. This one is gold. This is just gilded, okay? It's not gilded sparkle. Yeah, Ivy, we'll definitely be keeping you in our prayers. I hope things get better for you, whatever it is that you're going through. Yeah, I like this stamp too. I definitely am pleased with how each bouquet looks a little different. So here's the kicker, okay? Here's the kicker. So I have a background stamp from Simon Says Stamp, okay? And it's got these real pretty posies all over it, okay? Sorry about the glare. This is just a nice background stamp. It's called Modern I can't say that word tonight. Modern Rose Blooms, which that's very fitting since this is a rose, okay? I didn't know it was called Modern Rose Blooms. I just thought it was pretty. But let me show you something and see what you think. I think, I don't know, maybe it's too busy looking, but I think it kind of looks nice. I don't know, it might be a little bit too busy. But I thought it kind of looked nice as a background paper with the roses on the front, especially which this one is more of a pink. And I can stamp this background paper in any color, and then still have the, I don't know, it might be too much. Now that I'm looking at it on the screen, it might be too much flowers. But I just love this stamp. Look at the, I don't know if anybody else has this stamp, but I think it's really pretty. Simon Says stamp. It's just a background stamp. Yeah. This is a pretty color though, isn't it? I don't even know where I got this ink color. Or this ink pad. I don't even know what color it is. But obviously, we can have any color that we want with this background stamp. Hey Sandy, how are you? Trying to figure out what to do with my roses. I have all kinds of roses here that I embossed last night. And some I colored in with aqua pigments, and some I colored in with Distress ink. And I'm just trying to figure out what to do with what to put in the background. I was thinking something like this, but it's probably, oh, vellum. So do you mean, I'm doing pretty good. So do you mean to put the vellum, right over this layer? Oh, that sounds nice. Oh, that sounds really nice for the Valentine's. Okay. Nice. All right, so let's talk about the vellum, which I've never used vellum before, okay? Now, I have vellum, and I've seen it used before, but I've never used it before. Now, okay, so hold that thought. I also have, let me just grab, I'll be right back. Just hold on 1 second here. I have a paper pack that I purchased at Michael's a while ago, and it might go well as well. You might want to just pick something out of here instead for the background. Okay. All right, so I bought this. It's called English Rose Garden. Whoops. Okay, and let's just look through some of these papers together and see what we think. Obviously, that's stunning. I love roses. That is really pretty. That's a pretty paper. This reminds me of old-fashioned wallpaper. Like when I was younger and my granny, we would go visit her, and she was really poor. You know, she didn't have anything. But she had wallpaper on her walls, some of her walls, and it had this rose on it. Oh, so your chair's purple. That's cool. Okay, this is a rose paper. It's got the green and the smaller roses. Okay, this is pretty. Of course, it's got the foil, and it has butterflies on it. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Look at that. Oh, I just love it. Can you see that butterfly? It looks so lifelike. Well, maybe if I actually put it on the screen, you could see it. Hold on a second. Isn't that beautiful? Ah. Okay, just a small strip. Okay. Oh, this one's pretty too. It's sort of like a check pattern, like diamonds in the background with roses. We've got pretty green with roses. Okay, I should be back. This is a very big pattern. It's got some very compact roses. These are purple roses, cream color. Okay, I love this paper. And these are really cool. These are sort of small that you can make your own cards out of. I love these kind of packs of card paper, cardstock. I wait till I have a coupon or whatever. Or they'll go on sale for like $5. I love that flower. This is pretty. This is pretty like this, it's like a text background. That might look nice. Let's see here. That might be a nice background. Okay, that's a possibility. Oh, this is a nice sort of background. Paper. Oh, this paper is so pretty. This one's a little bit too vibrant. You can use a darker paper and stamp with embossing ink for a watermark effect. Well, that's a good idea too. You guys are so much fancier than me. I'm not used to all these vellum and watermark. I mean, I'll try my best. These are kind of busy. This is pretty with the butterflies. Isn't that beautiful? Love that paper. This is cute with polka dots. Oh my goodness, those are those look like delphiniums to me. They don't look like roses, they look like delphiniums. Okay, we have more that I can make cards with. Oh, look at this. It has the bird cages and the butterflies inside frames along with the rose. Oh, oh my gosh, that's very Victorian looking. This is like a peach color with this gold foil rose. And this is just like a nice green, you know, sort of a muted. And that might be the best background because it's not too overwhelming. That might be a good background. Hi, Diane. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Trying to get some feedback here on what to do with my roses. I created several different roses here using Brutus Monroe stamp, but just trying to figure out what kind of background papers. These are going to be birthday cards once I get them picked out. Okay, did that as an option too. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so let's see here. Darker paper and stamp with embossing ink for a water effect. So Fatima, the darker paper, would it be sort of like the gray that I had, or even darker, do you think? Because I have some brown paper here. I have some maroon paper. I kind of like the idea of the watermark. I kind of like that idea. I've never done the vellum before. And to try to find where I put my vellum. And that's always a challenge for me, trying to remember where I put everything. I've got hot pink, but that's too Valentine's Day, I think. I've got craft color paper as well. That might be a nice, oh, you know what? That might look nice with the craft paper and watermark. What do you think? Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. It's the least we can do is give it a try, right? It's just paper and let's see here. Embossing ink. Yep, we'll give it a try. All right, let me get my craft paper out. Hold on one second here. Oh, I wanted to show you guys something else. Before I get my craft paper out, I told you that I bought copy paper. I bought my most recent stack of cardstock at Staples. Now, a lot of people might turn their noses up at the idea of buying cardstock at Staples, but actually, it's a pretty nice cardstock. It's 110 pounds, so I think that's, pretty substantial, and it's a nice bright white. So this whole pack of 250 sheets cost $17. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're going to be doing things like embossing or over top. So I just wanted to let you all know that. I discovered that at Staples, and I'm pleased with it so far, and I hope it continues to please me, because I have 250 sheets of it, so I'll be using it for a while. I don't like to spend on buffering again. I don't like to spend a whole lot of money on basic cardstock. I have some of the Not Your Mama's cardstock, but I save that for when I'm using aqua pigments or some other kind of medium that has water in it. I just looked at my emails today. I'm hoping to go as long as my roofers don't choose. Oh, you guys are going. Oh, where are you going? Okay, so someone... Hey, B, how are you? I'm buffering, so just give me a second here to refresh. I'm happy with it. I try not to spend... oh, Stamp Camp. Tell us about it. What's Stamp Camp? Is that sort of like an all-day stampers event? Stamp Camp. That sounds like fun. I don't know why it's still buffering. It's not showing on my phone that I'm buffering, but it's definitely showing on my screen. Oh boy. Is it buffering for you guys? All right, well, I'm going to keep on working here. Hopefully. Oh, it's not buffering, guys. Okay. Okay. So, Stamp Camp. Tell us about Stamp Camp. Okay. That sounds really nice. Is that in Pittsburgh? Just waiting to get more information about Stamp Camp. Once a month, 10 to 2. Oh, I always cut my papers the wrong way. That's okay. I can use those for embellishments and other things. Okay. Try again. I like to cut it 5.5. and then fold it this way. I don't know why. I just like to fold my cards that way. Oh, it's in Greensburg. Okay. So is it open to other people to attend, or is it always full every month and you're on a waiting list? In other words, how does that work? Because I don't live very far from Greensburg. But again, it might be on the same day that I have Stamp Club. And if that's the case, then I probably won't be able to come. Okay. All right, I need to refresh my screen here on my computer so I can see what's going on. Okay. Okay, you just let them know you're coming. So, is this a demonstrator party? In other words, is it with a company? Up? You know, do they try to sell you stuff while you're there? I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. I shouldn't be doing this part yet because really, if you think about it, what I should be doing is just stamping with the watermark on a piece of cardstock, and then I can maybe use some 3D foam tape. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to slow it down here for a minute. Okay, let me get my watermark. Okay. Oh, hold on a second here. Okay, here we go. Misty. Okay. Okay, so it's on a Monday, not a Saturday. Okay. The third Monday every month. Girl is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. She takes orders, but not... Okay. Well, that's cool. I like some of the Stampin' Up! Products. There's no doubt about it. I've seen some, you know, being used online and they type... Oh, it's in Churchill. I'm so confused. I thought there's something in Greensburg. Somebody had mentioned that there was something in Greensburg. Okay. Alrighty. So, let's get our Misty ready so we can just do some watermark. All right, maybe. Just a little bit shy. Okay. All right, use your common sense here. It's not like it's the first time I've ever used a Misty before. Oh, Church Hall. Okay. The Church Hall is in Greensburg. It's not in Churchill. Okay, so it's this Monday, is what you're saying then. It's this Monday, February the 18th. Is that correct? Ah. Well, I am off work on Monday. Hoo hoo hoo. I actually took work off on Monday because my son doesn't have school and he is away all weekend at Scout winter camp. And I thought, well, I think I'll take Monday off. That way since he's going to be away all weekend, that way we can hang out together a little bit. Oh, this month it's on the 25th. Okay, you're getting my hopes up. I was going to say, if it's this Monday in Greensburg from 10 to 2, I might be able to go. I was getting all excited. Can you hear me? Am I still? Everybody can hear me? Well, okay, that'd be great, Sandy. Thanks. All right. Okay. Looks like I'm missing a couple spots here. Either that or my embossing ink needs to be refreshed. All right, Sandy, you have my email, so you send that to me. That'd be great. Okay, so we have sort of a watermark effect, which was Fatima's suggestion. So if you just give me a second here, I'm going to hit this with my heat gun real quick. Okay, and okay, I'm going to try this with my heat gun off the screen. Ah, that's nice. All right. That was a good suggestion. I like the way that looks. Has an antique look about it. And what I'll do here is just trim this down a little bit. Of course I'm trimming it the wrong way again. That's all right. I'll work it out here. Okay, we've got that. And this. Okay, 5 1/4. Okay. Now. Okay, so next question is, do you think I should use a darker color of brown for the background? I mean, for the card itself. I like this. I think this looks really nice. Or should I go with something that's closer to the color of the flower? Anybody have any suggestions? Let's see here. I don't want to get into the pinks too much because it just reminds me too much of Valentine's Day. What about green? That might not be nice though, because I'm using green for the St. Patrick's Day cards. This is one I wish I had like a sage color. I know that Brutus Monroe has a new color cardstock called Sage. I think that would look really nice, but I don't think I have anything like that. I'm just going over to my closet real quick to see what color cardstock might work. Let's see here. here. I'm looking. I'm checking out the situation here. What kind of color might look nice? What about ivory? How about an ivory background of a cardstock? So it looks something like this. Okay, we've got ivory. I think that would look nice for our card. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks nice. I think the ivory keeps it as a softer look. All right. All right, let me get my paper trimmer out and trim that down. Okay. Yeah, I kind of was planning on doing all St. Patrick's Day cards, but that's all right. I have to multi-purpose tonight. St. Patrick's Day and birthday cards for tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, that's going to look nice, I think. All right. Uh-oh. I just ran out of tape. Okay. Let's go with some of the other tape. Ugh, what a mess. Okay. All right, so secure this. Oh yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Okay, pink. Okay, let's do the gold. Oh my gosh, is that pretty? I really like the gold. Okay. All right, Wilda, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm just going to make this one birthday card and then I'm going to let everybody go so that I don't keep you all here for 3 hours. Hope you have a great evening. Bye-bye. See you later, Wilda. Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna put this on some foam tape so that it has a little bit of a dimension to it, so it's not laying so flat. Let me get my foam tape here. Okay. Okay, I'm getting really quiet, so you know I'm concentrating. This is getting to be the critical phase. Don't want to make any mistakes at this point. There's no turning back after you get so far into the process. Okay. Definitely want to pop this up. So, all right, let me get my pokey tool. Just pull those off real quick. Okay. And then I'm going to show my information with my blog because Fatima, I mentioned you in one of my blog posts. I know you said you had trouble getting onto my blog. So I wanted to put that on there again so you guys can have a chance to check it out. But it was the card that I created using the Stamploration stamps that says you can do amazing things. And I changed it to, because Fatima suggested it, to say you do amazing things. So that was a really good suggestion. And it turned out really nice. But I did mention you, Fatima, in that post. So what I thought I would do is put the, let me get back on screen here. I thought I would put the flower bouquet right here in this little corner right here, and then use Alabaster Brutus Monroe ink and use the sentiment that comes with this set, and it says happy birthday. It's just a simple, sentiment. I'll try to hold it up to the screen so you can see it. It's probably kind of hard to see, but I thought it might look nice with white. But I'm going to do a test first just to make sure it does, because I don't want to come this far and ruin the card. So I'm just going to get a block here and just hold on a second. I'll grab my Alabaster ink. Okay. This is Brutus Monroe Alabaster Pigment ink. Okay, let's see how this looks. Ah, you can't even see it. Boy, am I glad I did a test first. Not a good one. That's not a good one. That's not going to work. You can't even see it on the craft. All right, what color shows up well on craft? And I wonder if I should just go with black ink. I think I might have to, because I don't want to get this far in making the card and then embellish it with a sentiment that doesn't even show up. Okay, so let me grab my Squeaky Clean. Clean this stamp off. Let's see here. Try it with Raven ink. So I'm just stamping it with Raven. This is just a test stamp to see how well it shows up. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to go with Raven. I don't know what else to do because it just didn't show up well with the Alabaster. And we'll just put that at the top of the... I'm going to grab my Misty again just to make sure. I don't want to just trust myself to embellish this without... I mean, it might be crooked if I just do it freehand. Yeah, knowing me, it would be crooked if I just do it freehand. So, if I can find my Misty. I just had it here a minute ago. All right, I found it. Okay. It probably would look nicer if I embossed it. Do you think I should emboss it with the Raven? It probably would look nicer. Okay, so I'll just use the back of this. And let me know if you think I should do it with Raven. Let's give it a try. My craft mat out here. Okay, let's try it with Raven. Let's see here. Hold on one second. Let me grab my Raven. Oh, I just had it out last night, and I have to grab my powder tool as well. Alrighty. Okay, let's give it a try here. This is just a test. Okay, let me see here. My embossing ink. Alrighty. Okay, let me grab a piece of paper. I work in an office where we use a lot of copy paper and then end up recycling it, so I take it and bring it home and use it for my scrap paper and for embossing. Embossing powder. That way it's not paper, but it's used paper. Okay, I'm gonna get my heat gun out and see how this looks. Give me 1 second to All right, so I don't know what happened. It's probably my error. I probably did something wrong, but the letters didn't show off in the stamp. What did I do wrong? I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what happened, but I'm not sure what happened, because when I stamped it on this side and just the ink, it showed up okay. See that? It says happy birthday. But then when I embossed it, it's just like a strip without any. I'm not sure what happened. I did not expect that to happen, though. I figured it would show. Maybe I didn't clean my stamp well enough or something from when I embossed it with white. Let me get my stamp cleaning tool out here. And that might be the problem. I'm just gonna try to get that a little bit cleaner. That might have been what happened. It just might not have been clean enough. Okay, so let's try that again. All right. Okay, so I'll still use this scrap piece. So that was good that I didn't do it right on my card, because that would have been a boo-boo. I would have had to cover up, which, hey, that happens. So I'm taking some embossing ink. Whoops. And giving that a nice firm. I mean, it shows it when I emboss it with the embossing. When I stamp it with the embossing ink, you can still see the letters, the happy birthday. You can still see them. But for whatever reason, let's try again. Maybe this time it'll work. Maybe my stamp wasn't clean enough. It was clogged up with that alabaster ink, maybe. Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe that's what's happening. Maybe the embossing powder is expanding. I'm going to turn my heat gun on again, so just give me 1 second here. So, it kind of covered up the sentiment. I'm not sure what's going on there. I thought maybe it was because my stamp wasn't clean, but I might have to pick a different sentiment, because I do agree with you that it definitely stands out better when it's embossed. I have other happy birthday sentiments that I could use instead of this one, and that's not a problem. I can grab one of those. I'm just going to clean my stamp once that embossing ink gets on. You know, I definitely like to take a little bit of extra time in getting those clean. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to try to find my happy birthday sentiment from my other Brutus Monroe stamp set, which it's not far. I will be finding it here real quick. And Fatima, I see you're back. I was wondering if you saw where I wrote down my name of my blog here, and I was hoping that you can try to access it. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. Okay, can you see that, everybody? And then I wanted to know, maybe Fatima, if you could try again to get onto my blog real quick while I'm looking for the sentiment that I need. I need to get a happy birthday sentiment, okay? And that's my email. If you ever want me to send you a card, I'd be happy to send you a card. Just email me your address and I'll send you a card. And then that's my Instagram account. I'm trying to get more followers on Instagram. So if you're not following me yet, if you could please follow me, then I can share some more card creations with you on Instagram. Okay. Those are not Brutus Monroe. All right, hold on 1 second. Those. Okay. Still looking for my... Oh, here they are. Okay, I found them. I need more counter space. Okay. Looking for a different happy birthday sentiment than that one, since that one's not showing up very well when I emboss it. Okay, this is not Brutus Monroe, but it's really going to be fine. This is a Simon Says happy birthday. We'll just use that one for now, at least for this card, until I can locate my Brutus Monroe sentiment stamps. Okay, back to embossing. So, going to grab a piece of that craft cardstock that I had earlier. Okay, and we've got this happy birthday stamp. Okay. I wasn't sure if the white would work. when I stamped the sentiment with white alabaster, it didn't show up very well. So I wasn't sure if white embossing powder would work. So that's why we went with the black embossing. But we're going to stick with oh, I guess you're right, I could do white. Actually, this is gold. This one is gold. So how about if I get the gold embossing powder? That would match well. Oh my gosh. I was looking at my nails just now. Holy cow, do I need a manicure. I had no idea my skin was so dry. Holy cow. Okay. Okay. Let's try the gold. And then if that doesn't look right, we can always try the... We could try the alabaster. Okay. Oh, that's going to be pretty, I think. That's just a simple sentiment. It's nothing fancy or cursive. But just for the sake of this card, I'm just going to use that sentiment. And then I'm going to wrap up the video here real soon. And then I'll try to find like a different sentiment that's more cursive handwriting and more Victorian looking. I'm going to turn on my heat gun again. Okay, see what you think about that. Once I get it in screen here. I think that looks nice. Oh, extreme close-up. Woohoo! I forgot to use my powder tool. But that's okay. I think it turned out really nice. All right, so let me just trim it real quick. And then we'll get this adhered to the card. And we will have finished a birthday card. And I have 4 more to do after this. And what I'll do is I'll just do those off camera and then post some photos on my blog that you can check out and on Instagram. I definitely want to embellish these a little bit with some pretty sequins and things like that. Okay. What I like to do when I have this kind of sentiment, I like to take my crocodile and I like to round off the corners so that it's not so square looking. It gives it a little bit of a softer edge to it. Okay, there we go. We've got our happy birthday. And it's a little bit crooked, but I can always fix that. Okay. And that's the way it's going to look once I think that looks nice. I think it turned out really nice. So I hope the ladies at the card club tomorrow like their birthday cards. I hope that they, you know, I'm not trying to impress anybody by any means. I mean, I know that I have a long way to go in my card making skills, but I'm hoping that they look at it and they think it's pretty. And if that's what they think, then that means that, you know, hopefully it'll put a smile on their face. So we made one birthday card and we worked on several St. Patrick's Day cards. Sandy, I don't know if you saw the finished product on the St. Patrick's Day cards or not. I don't know if you're still here, Sandy, but I wanted to show you before I conclude the video so you can see how they turned out. I think they turned out really nice. We have a couple St. Patrick's Day cards here. Oh, who am I calling on my phone? Let's see here. Oh, calling my husband. Didn't mean to call him, but my phone touched the side of... but my finger touched the side of my phone and it started dialing his phone. Oh, well, that's okay. Oh, did you see it, Fatima? Did you see my blog post? I hope you did. Okay, awesome. Okay, thanks, Diane. Thank you, Ivy. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Wilda. And there was one other person. Oh, I don't want to miss anybody. Sandy and Bo and Diane. Thank you all for joining tonight on the live. And I don't know if you're still here or not, Dee. Dee was on earlier. Thank you as well for jumping on and for watching. Thank you for the idea when it came to the birthday cards. I think that they're going to turn out really nice, and I'll have to make some more yet tonight before I go to bed. And I'll let you all know how my first day at Card Club goes tomorrow. And I'll definitely share pictures with you of what we make tomorrow at Card Club. So I hope everybody has a good evening. And maybe I'll be able to do another live at some point this weekend. All right, everybody. Take care. And thanks again for joining. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.